Let's welcome to the stage the VFX supervisor, Sean Conrad. Composer, Leopold Ross. And he can escape from New York and he can escape from LA, but we're not going to let him escape from deadline contenders. As Lee Shaw, Primetime Emmy and Golden Globe nominee, everybody on your feet, Kurt Russell. So Kurt, this is we were talking about this, the first time that father and son have played the same character in a series. Talk about that legacy. Talk about how this all came together.
I'm kind of sorry that Wyatt's not able to be here. He's working on a Marvel production right now in Atlanta. So I think it's called Thunderbolts. And it is, you know, he's the guy who laid down the character. I did an interesting thing maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks into the shooting. We had discussed, you know, you gotta understand that when we came on, it was just a casting idea. Lee Shaw in the maybe 3 or 4 shows that were being talked about at the time was really a 5th or 6th character, so we had to come up with a reason why Wyatt and I were going to do the show. I mean, at some point you say, why are they doing this? Well, we thought it would be an interesting challenge to maybe do something that would help explain or be very indicative to the audience about what it was we were trying to do with Monarch. Monarch is a what if. It's unlike the movie, it's a what if. It's what if this was really happening? I don't think we'd be too happy about it. We'd be very afraid. We'd be living in a world that's not a Jurassic Park thing where there's herds of dinosaurs running around in a place. This is a bad thing that's happening. And this Monarch is about the people who are dealing with it. And within that, there are some monsters too. There are human monsters. So we started talking about the character, how it could, you know, work within a concept that everybody was going down the same track. And it was really the only place where Wyatt and I got to work together, because that was where we sort of worked on what it was that Lee Shaw was going to be. It was a lot of fun, but the most fun thing for me was a couple weeks in, I was off, it wasn't working, we were doing 2 different crews, and I said, I'm going to check out and see what Wyatt's group is doing. And it was fascinating for me because for the first time, you know, this is my son, I'd known him all my life. He knew me all his life. So as an actor, I'd watched him before, and I'd been on sets of his and stuff, but in an appreciative sort of way. Now I was suddenly watching this character be laid down that I was going to be playing the other half of much later in life. And it was really fascinating. I found myself watching this actor. And I remember thinking, fuck man, this guy's good.
I took it because the feeling that I got is your Lee Shaw. He's a wise soul. He's not cynical. He's been through it all, but he seems to be a bit more optimistic about the calamity that he faces than.
Yeah, he's sort of the man who knew Indians. He's been to places and seen things that nobody else, except now for Keiko, has seen. Yeah, it was. Listen, when one actor is going to lay down a character that you're going to be part of, it was interesting. Wyatt and I, we have physical characteristics that are similar and things like that, but his energy and my energy are quite different. You know, I run a lot hotter than he does. He's kind of a cooler cat. So we wanted to make sure that we were meeting. You know, we were meeting somewhere. He kind of brought some of his energy up in places, and I sort of had brought mine down a little bit, because we felt that it was right for Lee, right for the show. And you're doing 10 hours. It's a very strange, for me it was really, it's been 50 years since I've done anything like television, at television pace. You're doing, in effect, 5 movies back to back to back to back to back. And each director is doing 2 episodes, because you know each episode's about an hour, so 2 of them is like a movie. So you got 5 different directors on 5 different movies, and you don't know exactly what the next thing is going to be. You talk about it, and we've got a wonderful bunch that collaborate very well. Legendary and Apple both have been incredibly supportive in every way. It's a tough thing doing these. It's not like movies. They're very different. I'm not sure I like it. It's not easy, but I like the people, and that's been fun, and that will continue to be fun because I guess we're gonna go again here. So.
The show at the beginning because, sometimes with an episodic, you're talking about a lower budget, you're talking about, you're doing the small screen version of it, and it was really important for both Legendary and Apple that this is not the small screen version. We want the same impact of the big creatures on screen, and so, I worked on Godzilla 2014 as an artist and worked on stuff like Godzilla's atomic breath and the dorsal fin lighting up, and a lot of like tiny little pieces, and then later I worked on King of the Monsters as a vendor side. So all those small studios, working on that, I was a visual effects supervisor on one of those, and then taking that to a TV series. There's a lot of different challenges, but fundamentally the same language applies to it all. You're trying to find areas where you can make these creatures look as big as they can. You're taking a lot of attention to detail and really trying to drive all those factors home.
That was great. I mean, because I can remember sort of what was written, and whenever you're doing something like this, you got to understand you're not exactly sure of what it is you're going to be seeing or acting with. But I love that you had that bramble board. I don't know who discussed it with you, or whether it was your thing. By the way, congratulations to both of you guys. It's really nice to meet them. I've never met them before. They pulled the movie off of me. But I love that bramble board comes right at her, and it sniffs her. It's not interested apparently, and you kind of like go, oh, okay, she got away with that. And it's no, you didn't.